Hello, everyone. This is Benny Parsons. Welcome you to Bristol International Raceway. Thunder Valley, we call this place. It's banked 36 degrees, and we're here to qualify for tomorrow's night's Goodies 500. That's right. 1 lap, 2 laps around this racetrack, the fastest, and they got to do it in about 15.5 seconds. And that's what you'll see for the next hours trying to qualify for tomorrow's night race. At 7:30 on ESPN Classic, you'll see the Busch Grand National Series, 250 laps, 36 cars. Not a mild thunder, but a rolling thunder. 36 cars around this racetrack. But right now, let's qualify. And John Kernan, how do they do that?
Well, Benny, you get a good look at the fans. They've been sitting here watching these guys practice all day long, but they're getting set to see them run their fastest laps of the day. Jeff Gordon was telling me this afternoon, he says, hey, I'll go out there and run as hard as I can and only turn a 1560, 1565, but I strap in for qualifying. I go out there, it's worth 2 to 3 tenths of a second. And Jeff says, I have no idea how I'm able to do that.
Hey, John, I know how they do that. During practice, they breathe. In qualifying, they hold their breath for 15.5 seconds. Let's go to the top. The best seat in the house, Jerry Punch and Ned Jerry.
Hey, thanks a lot, BP. We are up here. What a great seat we're going to have and a great seat you're going to have for qualifying. And just like the race here, everything happens in a hurry on the high banks at Bristol.
Boy, it does happen in a hurry here. And going around here as fast as they do, they can't make a mistake. Just one little slip can cost them 1 or 2 tenths of a second. And only about 2 tenths of a second will separate first and 20th tonight.
3 out of the last 4 races have been won from the pole. We talk about track position. Not going to be important tonight. If you make the field, that's what's critical tonight, because 43 cars are set for the Battle of Bristol. And remember, you can't win the race if you don't qualify.
Well, you can have a real good sponsor with lots of money to spend. You can drive like you're going crazy and be held back by the wind. You can live wild and free and feel like you can fly. Win the race if you don't qualify. If you don't qualify, you can't go to the winner's circle, hold that trophy high. There's lots of fame and fortune that reaches far and wide. You can't win the race if you don't qualify. No, you can't win the race if you don't qualify. Yeah.
We welcome you live to Bristol International Raceway, and it's called Thunder Valley because they're going to thunder on the high banks tonight. Winston Cup Busch Pole qualifying. Round number 22 of 31 events on the $38 billion Winston Cup Tour. Great crowd on hand. We're going to come back with our first qualifier as the Battle of Bristol begins in just a moment.
You can't win the race if you...
Back at Bristol, Tennessee, getting set for Winston Cup Busch Pole qualifying. Take a look at the qualifying order. The first 15 that'll go out of 43 cars that'll try to make it into the field. 32 by virtue of qualifying positions and time spots and 4 provisional starters. That's Terry Labonte. He'll start out in the last. There's the next 30. Rich Bickle will be going in 30th in the car number 40.
And Jerry, this first driver, Terry Labonte, had some awfully good practice laps here this afternoon, so he's going to set the tone for the qualifying here this evening.
And as you saw, some of the cars will go late, like Mark Martin's car number 6 that set on the pole here in the spring, and Dale Jarrett in the car 28 have been awfully quick in practice. Here's Terry Labonte taking the white flag.
First lap, 15.392.
124.662 miles per hour for Labonte. Remember, in the short track qualifying, they get 2 laps, 2 consecutive laps of qualifying. A little bit slower second time by 15.611. So we'll take his first lap at 15.392 seconds.
Jerry, that's a new event record already here tonight. It's not a track record. Chuck Bowen owns the track record that was set in April of 1994.
Here's the car number 29, Steve Grissom. Here's Meineke Chevrolet Monte Carlo. Same car he finished 6th with at Rockingham early in the year. And mentioned the event record of 15:45 set last August by Harry Gant. Now we have a new event qualifying record with Terry Labonte.
Good lap for Steve Grissom on his first lap.
15.596, 123.032 miles per hour for Grissom.
And that equals the best practice laps that we saw here today. Mark Martin returned about 15.60.
slower second time by, 15.718 seconds. So his first lap will stand.
Now, folks, if you were with us at Michigan last week during qualifying for the Goody Ranch 400 there, they only get one lap on the tracks that are 1 mile or longer, but on short track, this is the half-a-mile track here at the Bristol International Raceway, so they get 2 laps, take the best of the 2.
And the only exception to that rule are Talladega, Daytona, and Charlotte, where they give the drivers 2 laps on the super speedways. And obvious reasons the drivers feel like they need that time to get the car up to speed with stricter plates at Talladega and Daytona. And Charlotte, the drivers have asked for a second lap to make it a little more consistent with tire heat and performance.
DW, what's the winningest driver on this racetrack?
12 victories here at Bristol International Raceway and 4 pole positions. The winningest active driver when it comes to starting on the inside front row. Not a bad effort for DW, 15.689 seconds. 122.302 miles per hour.
He picked it up a little bit on his second lap.
Down to 15.594, makes him second quickest thus far in qualifying. Let's go down to Benny Parsons.
Hey, track record. What about that?
Oh, really? I didn't know that. That's pretty good.
Event record anyway.
Okay, event record. Hey, our Kellogg Chevy was fast in practice. You don't ever know about qualifying because it cools off, the track gets a little quicker. That was a good lap for us, but there's some other guys that are pretty quick, too.
I told those guys that you'd have to hold your breath. Did you breathe during that qualifying run?
Not the first lap, I did the second lap.
That's why you slowed down, see?
That's right.
Okay, folks.
That's Terry Labonte down visiting with Benny Parsons, and as you heard Ned say, that's a new event record, breaking the record set by Harry Gant last August. Here is Brett Boni's Lowe's Ford Thunderbird. Junior Johnson owns car.
Had an engine problem this afternoon in practice, Jerry, so they had to install another engine, but he has a pretty good lap on his first time around.
15.674 seconds makes him 4th quickest. A little over 122.4 miles per hour. Second time by Ned.
A little bit slower.
15.676. So 0.02 of a second slower. Very consistent laps by Brett Bodine. See that pole speed on your screen, 124.662. That is Terry Labonte. And Ned, you hit it on the head. You nailed it. You said Labonte was going to pick the time for everyone to beat, and indeed he has thus far in qualifying.
And you know, sometimes it's good to get that fast lap in early. Others will sometimes might try a little bit too hard and not do as well. You can definitely overdrive this track as you can most others, except in Daytona and Talladega.
Mike Wallace trying to qualify. And Jimmy Dunlap owns Holly Meyer's Ford Thunderbird.
Pretty good laps for Mike Wallace on his first lap.
15.627 seconds for Mike Wallace makes him 4th quickest. Remember, 2 consecutive laps, green flag first, then the white flag, and now the checkered flag waves for Mike Wallace.
A little slower the second time.
Drops back to 15.742 seconds. So his first lap at 15.627, 122.787 miles per hour will be the lap we take for Mike Wallace, which will put him in 4th spot of the 5 cars that have qualified.
Next car out is Derek Cope in the Bobby Allison Motorsports Straight Air Ford number 12. Let's go to the pits with Benny.
DW, that's pretty good for an old guy like you.
Hey, I was gassing her up pretty good, Ben. Been running real well, and of course, you know, if I don't run good here, everybody gets real down on me.
Hey, this is your racetrack. Has been for a long time, right?
You know, last time we won here, we qualified in the top 10, and we won the race. So hopefully tonight, maybe we can hang in the top 10, and that'd be a good omen for us. It's been 3 years, Ben.
How many was it you won in a row here that time?
7 in a row.
7 in a row.
You know, we heard people talk about they finish here consistently. Finishing one thing, but winning 7 in a row, I don't guess I'll ever get over that.
Even as old as he is, he remembers that, guys.
That's DW, but Derek Cope, second quickest car in qualifying thus far, 15.524 seconds. It is Labonte and Cope with Rusty coming up. Back in a moment. Back at Bristol International Raceway, Bush pole qualifying, and the driver who won this race a year ago, the Goody's 500, pulls away. Rusty Wallace, the Miller Genuine Draft Ford Thunderbird, a 5-time winner at this extremely demanding high-banked oval. His only win in the Goody's 500 was coming last August when he held off a charge from a couple other cars, Mark Martin and Dale Earnhardt, to win the event. Thus far, our quickest qualifier, Terry Labonte, 15.392 seconds. He is quick. Eric Cope is second, Darrell Waltrip third, Steve Bristol fourth, and Mike Wallace is fifth, with Brett Bodine in sixth spot. Here is Rusty.
Rusty with what I believe is second fastest time. Let's see. Yes, it is. 15.476.
His speed 123.986 miles per hour. First time by. That's a pole speed on top, and Rusty's speed on the bottom. Can he beat it?
Nope, slower the second time around.
15.597 seconds. So we'll take his first lap at 15.476, 123.98. So that'll put him on the outside front row thus far in qualifying, as 7 cars have taken the green flag.
This next car is Joe Rutten, number 95.
Bill Rutten won the Super Truck event here back in June, which we saw on ESPN, driving for Ernie Irvan. Driving Ernie Irvan's Ford No Fear Super Truck in the NASCAR Super Truck Series by Craftsman. First time by for Rutten. The Shoney's in Ford, 15.721 seconds.
Not a bad lap. Makes him 8th fastest that they have qualified. That still is not a bad lap. This afternoon, that would have been a super lap. Second lap's about the same, Jerry.
Almost identical, about 400 slower, 15.764 seconds. His speed back to 121.7. We'll take his first lap at 15.72 and 122.053 miles per hour. That puts him 8th among 8 cars who have qualified. Talking about qualifying well, here's Benny Parsons.
Hey, Rusty, you won this baby last year. Pretty good run, 47, second right now.
I'm pretty happy with it. It's handling real good. I've been a little slow this morning, like I was slower than I thought I should. I've been like 3rd and 4th quick all day long. Everybody wants to be the fastest car, but I don't know what it is. It's going to race real good, I know, though.
You think it's going to race good?
No, I don't think I know it will.
Okay, he knows it, guys.
He's confident, has a lot of confidence.
That's the only thing Rusty doesn't lack, his confidence. I know. Jimmy Hensley, 1992 Winston Cup Rookie of the Year, and he had his first lap.
Yeah, folks, get out the program now. Got some driver changes this week, a little bit different from last week. Jimmy Hensley back in the 32 was ended a little bit earlier this year. Some driver changes this week. Greg Sachs had driven this car a few times.
Hensley's first lap, 15.830 seconds, is quicker than his second lap of 15.94. So we'll take his first one at 121.213 and miles per hour. That makes him 9th quickest among the 9 cars that have qualified. And take a look now. Hensley was in the 22 car, and Ward Burton was in the 31. Now Ward goes to the 22. And where does Sachs go? He was in the 31 car, although David Green practiced the car today. Jimmy Hensley shuffles down to the 32 car. And if you understood all that, you'd probably do your own income tax. So anyway, here's a guy who hadn't gone anywhere and is not going anywhere. Michael Waltrip, the Pennzoil Pontiac.
Today, he had some pretty good practice laps this afternoon, too, Jerry. And he just turned a good lap here right now. He's going to be close.
Michael, very close. Good qualifying effort. 15.438 seconds, second quickest. This is the car that he finished 3rd in the Charlotte World 600 back in May. One of his favorite race cars, Pontiac Grand Prix. Second lap.
A little slower.
A little bit slower, 15.589 seconds. So, hey, not a bad first lap, though. 15.438, 124.291 miles per hour. And Mikey's going to be smiling when he sees old BP here in a moment. Right now, he's on the outside, front row, next to Terry Labonte.
Okay, here's one of those drivers that we talked about a moment ago that switched rides this week. The Hardy's car now being driven by Greg Sachs.
Now, David Green, current Busch Series champion, actually practiced this car till about 1 or 1:30 today because Greg Sachs' flight was canceled, had an engine problem, engine malfunction. He finally arrived at the racetrack about 2 o'clock, got some practice laps in, so hasn't had a lot of time in this Hardy Chevrolet.
Have the slowest time of those qualified so far. Yes, he does have.
Understandable, of course, the fact that he hadn't had about a half a dozen laps in the race car. 15.915 seconds.
Picks it up some on the second lap here.
A little bit quicker, 15.857. So that's the lap of record for Sachs. 121.006 miles per hour. He still will be 11th among 11 cars that have qualified.
Car number 31 has no provisionals left. Provisionals that were awarded by NASCAR. The car has used It's up. Now, here's a guy also that ran fast this afternoon in practice, Ted Musgrave. Family Channel 4.
Jack Roush showing the machine. Howard Comstock and the crew doing a whale of a job. Musgrave currently 5th in the point standings, having a great season.
Good lap.
Not a surprise at all that Musgrave turns a 15.517 second lap. That puts him 4th quickest, but the car got real loose that
Yeah,
second
he
lap.
got high up here in turns 3 and 4 too, so this next lap is not going to be too good.
As you predicted, Ned, a little bit slower by 0.4 of a second, 15.979 seconds. So his first lap at 123.658 miles per hour, good enough to put Ted Musgrave in the outside of row 2. Terry Labonte, our quickest qualifier. Michael Waltrip outside row 1 in just a moment. We'll be back. Back at Bristol International Raceway, there's your top qualifiers thus far. 12 cars having taken time. We will take the top 20 in this round 1 of qualifying. Remember, only 32 cars will make it into the field by virtue of qualifying speeds, 4 by virtue of provisional positions in the top 40 of the car owners' points.
And of course, those top 20 tonight get locked in. Ken Schrader trying to be one of those in the Bud Ford. Got a pretty good lap, not the quickest, but
15.663 for Schrader, first time by. That puts him 9th quickest. At pole speed is Terry Labonte. You see 15.392 seconds. Second lap for Schrader. He sure did, Ned, by about 0.04 of a second, 15.621 seconds. 122.835 miles per hour for Ken Schrader, and that will put him in 8th spot thus far in qualifying.
now, fans, if you wonder when I say I believe he picked it up, I'm standing here with my unofficial stopwatch and clocking them as they go around too. Of course, we've got the electronic clocks here that gets them right down to the thousandths of a second.
And as we watch Jeff Woodard get an attempt, let's check in with BP.
Hey, guys, the outside pole sitter, Michael, great lap.
Yeah, it was a good lap. You know, I had to mentally be ready for this deal today. Earlier this year, we used a spot here. We used spots in Richmond and Martinsville, and you know, we're 8th in the points, so we can't be using spots. We're about out, and we got to make the races to run up front and gather up some more points and try to get to the top 5. So when I got ready to go qualify, I asked God to help me, and I asked Buffy to help me, and the main people to help me with the crew. I mean, they had the car set up perfect. It just drove itself. All I had to do was hammer it. And Benny, I know how to hammer it. I can handle that part.
You got that part down hammered.
Yeah, and fortunately they gave me a good handling car, and I was able to hammer it. I wished I could have hammered a little harder, maybe beat Terry, but we're not complaining. I told Darrell all I wanted to do was when we walked over that 3rd turn bank, when qualifying was over tonight, I just wanted to know I had a time good enough to stand on tomorrow so I could sleep tonight. And people just don't understand what this is like in here, but you know, only the strong survive, and I think my mental attitude along with the crew's preparation of the car gave us what we needed.
Attaboy, Michael, good run.
Thanks.
Michael Waltrip outside the front row. We might mention that qualifying just a moment ago, Jeff Bodine, 15.62, or in fact, Bodine's lap, 15.532 seconds, good enough for 6th quickest in the X-Side Ford. Here's Jeremy Mayfield. First lap was 15.651, 122.599, and that is the lap it will take. He slowed down second time by 15.711, so Mayfield continues a pretty good qualifying effort. He's 11th quickest right now, once again qualifying in the top 10 at Michigan last week and finished 12th. Now, one driver who's already qualified and right now sits 4th is Ted Musgrave. He's with John Kernan.
Well, Ted, a lap of 123.658, a little over 15.5 seconds. Satisfied with that?
I'm pretty satisfied. That's the quickest we've been all day. You know, I just got a little loose out there, and you know, the second lap was even worse, so I just kind of backed off of it the second lap to save it. It's a good car, you know, I've always run good here at Bristol, and I think the guys know what we need to do here. You know, we got to get our good point standings up there and have a good clean race now. So that's a good start. You know, like I say, it's not a pole, but to finish here is like getting a pole and a win.
That's Ted Musgrave, currently 4th, Jerry.
15 cars have qualified. We'll be back with more qualifying after this. Back at Bristol International Raceway, here's Bobby Hillen in the U.S. Air Jasper Engines Ford DK Ulrich on machine. Hillen trying to get into one of 20 starting spots that will be settled tonight, as you heard Michael Waltrip saying that drivers want to go home and sleep tonight knowing they are solidly in the field.
Qualifying for a Winston Cup race in a short track is the most pressure-packed situation that they have all year long.
First lap for Bobby Hillin, 15.880 seconds, 120.831. That'll put him 16th quickest.
I picked it up a little bit on his second lap.
Slightly, 15.840 seconds, 121.136 miles per hour, and that will place Hillin in 15th spot, 15th out of 16 cars that have qualified. Once again, Terry Labonte, the fastest car in qualifying thus far, 15.392 seconds. An event record, breaking the record set back last August by Harry Gant. There's the top qualifiers, 15. Now, the one you don't see, 16th spot is Greg Sachs. Bobby Hillin has moved into the 15th position. On the speedway, car number 23, Smokin' Joe's machine. Travis Carter racing for Jimmy Spencer.
Good lap for Jimmy in his first lap. One step for the pole, but puts him up there in the
10th spot, 15.621 for Spencer. Trying to pick it up slightly, get up in the top 7 or 8.
Slowed down in the second lap.
Lost about 2.5 tenths, 15.870 seconds. Spencer's lap, 120.907. So his first lap at 122.835, good enough to put him in the top 10 at 10th position. In fact, exactly the same speed that Ken Schrader has run, 15.621 seconds. The speed and time are identical, but Schrader ran first, where he will currently be shown in 9th, and Spencer 10th.
The driver that's higher in the point standings gets the positions that they tie in qualifying. In years past, the drivers went out first and turned the time, but now they go according to the point standings.
And Ken Schrader is 15th in the points overall, ahead of Spencer. So, Motorcraft Quality Care Machine, Ford Thunderbird. Bud Moore prepared car, an old machine, Dick Trickle.
15.690 his first lap.
122.294 miles per hour for Trickle.
Second lap is very close to that also.
15.720, slightly slower, so we'll take his first lap at 15.69. 122.294 for Trickle, and he will be posted in the 14th spot thus far in qualifying. 18 cars have run, 43 are in line for qualifying. Remember, we only take 20 tonight. Final round of qualifying starts at 1 o'clock tomorrow. Here's Todd Bonine, Factory Stores Ford Thunderbird. And as you watch Todd run, John's with his older brother.
Currently 6th right now, Jeff Bodine. Last week at Michigan, you guys told me that they couldn't wait to get here to Bristol. Is that true?
Love this little track. A little warm right now, but no, we love this race, especially the night race. It's so pretty, and folks come out here and just fill this place up. They keep building grandstands. They need more. Can't build enough, but we're looking forward to it. The Excite Sport is running good. That's a pretty good qualifying effort. Still, we're disappointed because we'd like to be the fastest. We need a Busch pole this year. We'll keep working at it. We're getting closer. We're going to get one, but the race should be really fun and exciting. They always are here.
Yeah, I can second that, Jerry, very much.
And his brother qualified in 18th spot, 15.854 seconds, 121.029 miles per hour.
And that was on his first lap, Jerry. He really got loose on his second lap, Todd Bodine did.
And here's John Andretti. What a run he had going last week at Michigan after a great qualifying effort. Was running among the top 3 or 4 with 70 laps into the race, and suddenly the engine went away. The Kmart Little Caesars Ford Thunderbird. Granipas Haas Racing Team, Tim Brewer, the crew chiefs. First lap, 15.793 seconds. 15.793, that's 16th quickest thus far.
And slower on his second lap.
So, second lap of 15.956. His first lap will stand at 121.497 miles per hour, and that makes John Andretti 16th in qualifying. Once again, the pole speed, if you just joined us, Terry Labonte at 15.392 seconds, 124.662. And here is Kyle Petty, Coors Light, Pontiac.
Some pretty good laps of practice this afternoon. As you'll notice, fans, most of the second laps are a little bit slower than the first laps. They're either qualifying on what they call sticker tires, brand new, or either maybe they just put a little bit of time on them to scuff them just a little bit. But that's one of the reasons the first lap is the fastest. But Kyle
has to be 15.681 first time by for the silver bullet. See if he can pick it up next time by.
Yeah, I think he did. Picked it up a little bit.
Just a tad, 15.665, 122.490 miles per hour. And Kyle Petty clocks in at 13th spot in the silver bullet Pontiac. Back with more live qualifying in a moment. Top qualifiers on the field as you see the top 15 thus far, and Rick Mast on the speedway. Richard Jackson on Skoal Classic Ford Thunderbird. This is the car he set on the pole with at Indianapolis Motor Speedway back last year for the inaugural Brickyard 400. They made it to a short track car here in 1995. First time by, 15.608 seconds. His speed 122.937 miles per hour. That puts Mass in the top 10. Second lap a little bit slower, 15.657. So Mass will clock in at 9th spot at 122.9. Let's check in with John Kernan.
Well, Darren Cope sitting 5th right now in the qualifying order. I figured you'd be happy, but you're what, disappointed?
Yeah, I'm a little disappointed with that lap. You know, the straight 04 was a little better race car than it showed there. The driver just kind of messed up a little getting in one. I didn't want to get on the apron. I got in a little high and didn't quite get the lap. We were capable of being a little better than that, but it's a good effort. Straight arrow folks are here, so hopefully we can get out of the top 10 and a front stretch spot will be okay.
All right, they hope for a top 10 spot. Back in April, they finished 13th in the race here, Jerry.
They were awfully quick in practice, John, and they currently sit in 5th position as you're watching Morgan Shepherd, Sitco, Wood Brothers Ford go out for qualifying. 23 cars have qualified. The cars that have been bumped from the top 20 are Bobby Hill and Todd Bodine and Greg Sachs thus far.
Shepherd very consistent on his 2 laps.
15.650 and 15.639. His second lap quicker, 122.693 for Shepherd. Let's check in with Benny Parsons.
Hey, guys, I'm with a couple of interested spectators. This guy is next to last, and this guy is 3rd from last. 39, pretty good lap by Terry Lamont.
It's going to be hard to beat. Terry's been real good all day, and I don't see anybody beat him.
You going to beat him?
No. I just hope to run what I ran in practice. I'd be happy with that. If I don't slow down qualifying, I've accomplished something.
How'd you run in practice?
Like 58.
58, that probably won't get in the top 15 or 20.
We realize that now, but maybe the weather will change and maybe the track's picked up. So if I can just not slow down, I'll be okay.
I got the whole secret. Just don't breathe.
I'm not going to regardless of what I run, I'll assure you.
You gonna breathe?
I tell you, you get around here real fast. I ate a big lunch. They like to kill me after lunch. Not by the time.
Hey, guys, back to you.
Hud Strickland, 6th quickest. Good run for Hud Strickland in the Kenny Bernstein-owned Quaker State Ford Thunderbird. That team's still up for sale. Good run for Strickland at 123.578 miles per hour. And here's the guy to watch. Ned, you had him clocked this morning as one of the quickest cars here.
Yes, he was. He was very fast this morning. Early in practice, Jerry, he turned the lap of like 16:34. And I said Mark Martin had a 16:60 was the fastest, but I'd forgotten about Gordon running what he did. He's going to be close. Right here is going to be close.
And Jeff Gordon doesn't do it the first time by, 15.472. That puts him 3rd. Remember, it's Labonte and Michael Walsh at the top 2. Got to be the 39, 15.392. Can he do it?
No, he didn't do it the second lap.
And he did not. 15.503. So we'll take Jeff Gordon's first lap at 15.472 seconds, 124.018 miles per hour. And that puts the current Winston Cup point leader in 3rd spot thus far in qualifying.
John Andretti was bumped by Jeff Gordon, and now on the hot seat is Joe Rutten. And out to try to unseat him is Ricky Rudd in the Tide Ford number 10.
2 Hendrick cars in the top 3 in qualifying. If you're scoring at home, remember Terry Labonte, Michael Waltrip 2nd, and Jeff Gordon is 3rd with Rusty Wallace 4th and Ted Musgrave 5th. Tide Downey Ford Thunderbird. This guy had a good run going last week too. It's really good for Ricky Rudd.
And you watch him tonight, I believe, Jerry.
And that'll get him in the top 20 as you watch his qualifying run. Let's check in with John Kernan.
Jerry, I'm standing by with Rick Mashton. Rick, pretty good qualifying run, standing 11th right now.
Yeah, we've been struggling since we've gotten here. You know, we're in the last 2 races we haven't done real well in qualifying. When they drop the green flag, we seem to be in good shape. The car is driving real good. The motor feels real good. We're just not simply fast for a lap or two, but you know, sometimes in Bristol, that ain't always a good way to do here for the race. You know what I mean? Take an old DW approach. That's the way he likes to do it. Lay back a little bit and run hard at the end of the race down the trouble.
Now, your sponsorship teammate is out there, Robert Presley, a rookie on the circuit this year. You didn't teach him anything about this place?
Well, he's been out running a lot of these races this year, but yeah, you know, me and Robert, we work together a lot. You know, a lot of the racetracks we've gone through this year, I've been a lot, and that's when I figured out the Chevrolet Ford advantage, disadvantage thing, you know what I mean? But they've got that thing equaled up a lot right now, probably closer than it's been. Now, Robert's doing good. He'll do good the rest of his career.
All right, thank you, Rick. Jerry? And Presley's first lap you saw there as he came by was 15.604, quicker the second time by 15.537. So Robert Presley, 123.499 miles per hour. That is 10th quickest. We might mention that Ricky Rudd's second lap was quicker of the two, so he is now showing in 5th position. Good run for Rudd in the tied 4th.
They clocked in at 9th on his first lap, so the last 2 cars have run faster on their second lap than they did on the first lap. So that's sort of a reverse of the trend that we saw earlier.
Now here's a guy who knows this racetrack. Remember, he won the Busch race here back last August. Had a great qualifying run in Michigan. Really getting it together with the Phil Marcotti team, Gil Martin, Kip McCord, and all the guys who are working so hard for Kenny Wallace. And his first lap is not a bad one, 15.762.
A little high up in turns 3 and 4.
That will not get him in the top 20. He'll have to pick it up second time by. And he does not. He slows down to 15.78. So Kenny Wallace not getting in the top 20. He clocks in at 23rd spot as live Busch pole qualifying continues after this.
Welcome back to Thunder Valley, and we're walking back here in the transporters, run into Jeff Gordon. And Jeff, this is a lot different circumstances than the last time I talked to you on qualifying day. 3rd fastest right now.
That's not a bad lap. You know, we'll take it. We just want to run as faster, a little bit faster than what we practiced at. That's just a little bit faster. But, man, Terry must have really clicked one off there. I think the only one that's got anything for him is Mark. Mark's kind of the full cat when it comes to Bristol, so we'll see what he's got for him. But we're happy with this. You know, this put us up front, and that's what we need.
Now, about the race, though, you won back in April, and it's been 8 or 9 years since somebody's won 2 in a row here.
Well, but at the same time, you see a lot of guys doing strings here sometimes, too. So, you know, all the same circumstances have to fall in line. I mean, when we were here the last time, it was during the day. We're going to be here at night, but the main thing is stay out of trouble. If we can stay out of trouble and be there the last 100 laps, I think we can have some for him, but that's not always as easy as it sounds.
Hey, what'd you call Mark Martin, the polecat? Is that what you said, polecat, right?
Yeah.
And Benny Parsons is standing by with him. Benny, take it away.
I don't see a stripe. They just called you a polecat. Martin the polecat. You going to sit on the pole?
I don't know. I might.
You might, huh?
We'll just have to see what my car does. We've done it before, and we've not done it a whole bunch more times. So I don't know what we'll do.
It's going out 40th an advantage for you, Martin?
It's a good draw. My car might be too tight, and it might not. If it's too tight, we won't. If it's perfect, we got a shot at it.
And you told me you're not going to breathe, right?
Hey, you don't have to worry about breathing. In 15 seconds, it's over with.
All right, good luck, Mark.
Thank you.
Hey, Benny, you know the thing about the polecat, Jeff Gordon, what he said about Mark Martin?
Yeah.
All right, well, I don't think Jeff knew he meant that complimentary. I told him what a polecat was to us people down here in the South, and he got a little bit embarrassed. I don't think he actually knew. He meant that as a compliment.
I knew that.
Ricky Craven has just turned the 5th fastest time.
Good run for the Kodiak Chevrolet driver. First time out for Craven, 15.478. That's quicker than his second lap of 15.575. So Craven will log in at 5th quickest. We might mention other cars that have qualified. Ward Burton in the car number 22, 13th quickest thus far in qualifying. And Rich Bickle in the Kendall Oil Pontiac. Dick Brooks' own car is 12th quickest at 123.459 miles per hour.
Here in the backfield was just bumped. Kyle Petty was bumped a moment ago, and Brett Bodine. Nick Bristol has already been bumped from the top 20. So a lot of good cars and drivers have been bumped out, and we knew that would be the case. Pretty good run here for Jeff Burton.
And that will bump Morgan Shepherd from the top 20 as Burton clocks in at 15.593 seconds, 123.055 his first lap. Good enough to send Morgan Shepherd to 21st spot. Remember, only 20 being decided today, and Burton's second lap a little bit slower.
Of course, another thing at stake here tonight, Jerry, is a front stretch pitting area. Only 18 drivers will be permitted to pit on the front stretch. Dale Earnhardt will get one of those regardless of where he qualifies. So
here's the car number 71. Everyone wants to pit on the front stretch, man, so you got an opportunity not to have to worry about where the pace car is and coming around and letting you in and out.
Actually, there are 19 pits, I believe, on the front instead of 18, as I said.
Right, there are 19 pits on the front stretch. Winston Cup champion gets to pick first, and they go by qualifying order. No provisional spots left for this veteran, Dave Marcus, in the Olive Garden Chevrolet. Let's take a look. Let's see what Marcus does. 15.718 seconds.
26th fastest at the moment.
Mike Wallace on the hot seat in 20th spot. Only top 20 get decided in this first round, and Marcus a little bit slower next time by a very consistent lap, 15.721. That will not make it into the top 20. And Mike Wallace continues to hang on to 20th spot as Texan Terry Labonte on the pole. A new event qualifying record, 15.392 seconds. This guy taking a shot at the pole. Good race, Chevrolet. 7-time Winston Cup champion Dale Earnhardt. An 8-time winner here at Bristol International Raceway, including his very first ever victory right here back in 1979.
Earnhardt that fast in practice this afternoon. Let's see what he does in qualifying.
15.496 seconds. That's 6th quickness his first lap. Good lap. 123.826 miles per hour. Lap 2 for the Intimidator.
Could be a little faster, according to my watch.
And a little bit slower. 15.566 seconds by Dale Earnhardt. So his first lap at 15.496. Good enough to put the 7-time and reigning Winston Cup champion in 6th spot thus far in qualifying. Back in a moment. Qualifying recap here at Bristol International Raceway. Take a look. 20 spots up for grabs today. The top 15 led by Terry Labonte. Jeff Burton is 15th. We will take the 20 cars today out of 43. And you see here in the 20th spot right now is the car number 20 is Jimmy Spencer, actually.
He and Schrader tied. They have identical times. Elton Sawyer did not beat either one of them on his first lap. That's Sawyer in the Hooters Ford.
And his second lap, 15.860, is quicker of the two, so we'll take Elton Sawyer's lap. And the car number 27 will not get in the top 20. Let's go down to John Turner.
Well, Jerry, back in spring, Ricky Rudd finished 5th, and right now he sits 7th on the grid, and this is the exact same car, right, Ricky? So it must be a pretty good one.
Well, it is the same Tide Downey Ford, but it's been a little bit of changes made to the car, the chassis. We've been guys in the shop, Bill Engel, all these guys have improved the car a little bit. We just misjudged the racetrack cooling off, and the front end wouldn't quite turn like I wanted it to in qualifying. Left a little bit of speed on the racetrack, but we'll race real good.
All right, thank you very much, Ricky. Currently 7th, Jerry.
Good run for Rudd. Here's the guy that set on the pole and won the race last week at Michigan for his 3rd Winston Cup victory of the year.
Only 22nd fastest at the moment. Bobby Labonte.
15.630 his first lap by. Not good enough for the top 20. And neither will the second lap. 15.694. So Bobby Labonte misses the top 20. And oh, what a difference a week makes. Last week on the pole at Michigan with a new event qualifying record and winner. This week he can't make the top 20, but a different kind of racetrack. But I got to believe that come tomorrow night, he'll be a factor in the 500 lapper here in the Goodies 500.
And here is Bobby Hamilton in the STP Pontiac. Richard Petty's car.
Remember the race Hamilton had here back in the spring, started back in 17th spot, finished 4th. May have had the fastest race car in the last 20 laps of the race at Bristol.
That first lap will get him in there, according to my watch.
And it will not. 15.659 seconds for Hamilton. has to beat a 15.62. That is Jimmy Spencer. That is the bump speed, or on the bubble, we should say. And he will not do it. 15.672 seconds, slower second time by. So Hamilton, STP Pontiac will clock in at 25th quickest thus far in qualifying. And remember, only the 20 top cars will be set in the field. Here is Bill Elliott, 1988 Winston Cup champion, 9-time most popular driver in NASCAR Winston Cup racing. Former winner here. He has one victory. He's coming in the spring race back in '88.
What an exciting race that was. And Bill's going to be marginal getting in. Not good.
15.630, close. Elliott's got to pick it up about 9,000ths of a second to get in the top 20. Spencer is on the bubble at 20th spot, and here's Elliott, second time by.
I think he did.
Yes, he did. 15.595 seconds, and Elliott in 17th spot, 123.039, and talk about a pole catch. This guy has won 3 poles at Bristol International Raceway, second only to Darrell Waltrip in pole victories here. Waltrip has 4. Martin set on the pole here back in the spring. The Batesville Arkansas Bullet in the Valvoline Ford. And there is Jack Roush with the hat on, I should say. That's Jack on the right side of your screen, who owns a race car, the Valvoline Ford, seeing what he can do.
He did it, Jerry. 16.339.
15.339 seconds. 125.093 miles per hour, and a new pole setter. Mark Martin, his second lap is slower, but who cares? His first lap was quick enough, 15.339 seconds, 125.093 miles per hour. And Mark Martin has swept the pole at Bristol International Raceway. Take a listen, folks.
Jerry, that's a new track record, isn't it?
15.357 was the record, and yes, a brand new track record, breaking the record set by Chuck Bound in April of 1994. So Terry Labonte broke the event record, but Mark Martin broke the track record. And remember, as you continue to watch qualifying, we have a Busch Grand National event coming up, the Cruise City 250 coming up on ESPN Classic. That's coming up at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time on ESPN Classic now. Live racing action, Busch Grand National style. Joe Nemechek's first lap, 15.530. Second lap, 15.688. So we'll take his first lap at 123.5. And our pole sitter is with BP.
Hey, that's pretty neat when all those people stand up and cheer, isn't it?
I didn't think they were cheering for me. I can't believe it. That Valvoline car's perfect tonight. I hope one of these guys doesn't beat us. That'd be real nice. These guys deserve it. They put me in the best race cars on the racetrack every week, and they deserve to sit on the pole.
You know, Jeff Gordon said you might be the pole cat, and you are.
Well, it's not over yet, Benny.
Okay, let's see what the 28 does. Tell me, Jerry, what did he do?
Okay, Benny.
He didn't beat him, that's for sure.
15.578, so not